Hey YouTube, Clock Ninja here. Today I want to talk about life, okay? And this is sort of like an advice to young people. There's a thing going on in this country or all over the world, in fact, where young people or old people or just people in general of all ages, uh, they're tired of either the rat race or the status quo and they want to live free. So basically, they go out and buy a van or a truck or RV or uh, some sort of trailer, and then they convert it into their home and they go on the road and they live out there and they basically live the way they want to live. All right. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. Okay. But here is my opinion about all that. Okay. First of all, as human beings, as any living thing on earth, okay, the main objective of any living thing on earth is to reproduce. Okay. Uh, that's how life goes on. Birds and the bees, even the trees and the plants, anything that lives, okay, the main objective in life is to reproduce so that your lifeline or your bloodline continues on, okay? And that is the most basic instinct of all living things, aside from eating and drinking to sustain yourself, to be able to reproduce. Okay, that's it. You know, you can uh, be more sophisticated and be more complex about it, but it all boils down to just that. Okay, the continuation of your species, the continuation of your bloodline, and the survival. Okay, and that is the nature of life. Okay, now when you're young, this is my advice to young people. If when you're young, you should do everything in your power and your capabilities and abilities to succeed classically, spiritually, physically, whatever. You should uh, make as much money as you can, obtain as much things as you can, and thrive as much as you can. Okay. Keeping up with the Joneses or being materialistic and all that is part of your human nature. Just like the birds and the bees, like just like the birds that collect rocks or shiny little things to or build a nice nest. Uh, these are instinctive behaviors of all living things to do the best they can to secure a good life. And it's not that you're securing a good life. You think you are. You think that you're securing a good life for yourself, but it really isn't. Okay? You're securing a good life for your children. Okay? Because at the end of the day, that's all it boils down to again is your future generations, continuing your bloodline, making sure that your genes are passed on and on and on and live on. Okay, that is the nature, that is the instinctive nature of all living things. Again, all right, and so you may selfishly think that you're working hard to have that nice house. You're working hard to buy that nice car. You're working hard to have all these things. All right. But basically, you're obtaining all that so you can provide. So you can provide your mate. So you can provide for your children. So they can have a leg up in the world to succeed, have a better chance than you did. Every generation gets better and better. That's the goal, right? You don't want every generation to get worse and worse. Although there are a lot of people who get stuck in that rut and continue their uh, poor way of life on to their next generation because they haven't really done anything with their life. Okay? So, my advice to young people is when you're young and healthy, do what you have to do and do it as much as you can and hard as you can. Work hard, and save money and be all about that. Okay? Because I guarantee you that after about 15, 20, 25, 30 years of that, even though, let's say, you didn't go anywhere, let's say you didn't move up that corporate ladder, let's say you didn't do anything better than being a cashier at a grocery store, let's say you didn't do anything better than working assembly line in a factory, okay? If you work 20, 25, 30 years, starting at a very young age, you would have built something. You would have had a home. You would have had provided food and education for your children. You would have had built a sustainable life for yourself. And you have paid into Social Security. You have paid into some sort of 401k. You have built something towards sustainability when you get too old to work. Okay, when you become when you're let's say when you're in your early 20s and you go out there and work your butt off. And if you work your butt off and you do it smartly or even just manual labor, doesn't matter. If you're dedicated to that, you're going to make something of yourself. Okay? You may not get rich, like I said, you may not move up the corporate ladder or anything, but like I said, you would have established something for yourself. And you need to do that because you don't want to be a wanderer, a traveler, an adventurer all your life, and then finally realize, hey, I'm 40 years old and I need to settle down. No, my younger brother did that. My younger brother refused to find that girl and get married and have children. He was always busy working though, and but he would never stay in one place. He would always work somewhere for a couple of years and quit and move on to another job. And he did that all of his life. And by the time he reached his 40s, he met a woman and decided to marry her, and he started having kids in his 40s. All right. So now he's lived his life the way he thought he wanted to live, which is job to job, trying to search for that one thing that he wanted to do, but he never found it. So in his 40s, he started having kids, and now his youngest is a toddler, and he's almost 50 years old. So now he's got to what? Work until he dies to support his family. By the time his youngest graduate high school, let alone even college, he'll be well into is late 60s and 70s, 70 years old. Okay, and he would still have to be working somewhere, doing something. You know, and his wife is not able to work because they have three kids and one is a little baby. Now, to me, that's horrible. So to avoid that, uh, work when you're young and healthy. Work now, save now, establish a living now, live the status quo. Don't you're young. You have plenty of opportunities and time later. Okay, I started working a professional job when I was 22 years old, and I stuck with that one job for 24 years. And I finally retired from that job. And I was in my mid 40s when I retired. Okay, most people look at me and says, "You're too young to be retired. You look too young to be retired." Okay, well, that's because I started early and stuck with it. I didn't move job to job, quitting this job because that's not a thing for me. So I'm gonna go do that. You know, it's different if you know what you want in life and you pursue it. Okay, it's different if you know exactly what you want to be. If you want to be a carpenter, if you want to be a architect, if you want to be a computer engineer, if you want to be a social worker, if you want to be a teacher, okay, go do that. Okay, but there's a lot of you guys out there who don't know what you want to do, but yet you're picky and you choosy. You know, most of the younger people in my family, they'll say, "Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go work for the government. Oh, I don't want to go work for Social Security Administration, or I don't want to go work for the FBI, or I don't want to go work in the military." You know, so okay, what do you want to do then? Oh, I don't know, but I don't want to do those things. Well, guess what? It's not about what you want to do. It's what you have to do to establish something for yourself. And then once you accomplish life's mission of reproducing, get married, have children, raise your children, provide for them the things that you may have not gotten when you were a kid. Make their life a step better than what you had. Okay? And once they finish high school and college or whatever, now you can live like a bum if you want to. Now you can buy that RV or that camper and move into the mountains and travel and look at the sunrises and sunsets and live the way you want to live, okay? But make sure that you have money saved up. Make sure that you have built some sort of pension or social security or some kind of 401k so that you have a steady income coming in each month, so you can live on a budget and still do what you want to do out there. Don't start off life at 20, 22, 20, your mid 20s and roam around like some hobo and think that you lived a life of adventure and this and that, and then when you become 30, 40 some years old, you meet that special person and now you want to have kids and what have you. You're going to look back at your life and say, I kind of did that backwards, you know? Now, I'm not saying for you young people out there to rush into marriage. Definitely don't do that. I definitely should have not gotten married at the age 22. I should have focused on my career. I should have established a savings. I should have established some sort of life around me and then pursue meeting a mate and going on with life. And I still would have been under 30 years old if I had done it that way, and probably met a better person or somebody that fit me better. Okay, never rush into marriage. Never, you date for a while, even maybe live together for a while before you decide to get married. And definitely think hard about having children. You know, uh, you know, when can you afford to have children? When is the best time? Not to say that doing that is going to assure that you're going to do it right. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, children just happen. Sometimes you can't plan having children; they just happen. Out of you know, if I have to explain that to you, you don't need to be watching this video because you're probably too young to understand that. But if you have children before you actually plan to have them, accept the fate. Accept the fate. Bite the bullet. Work your butt off. Deal with it. Deal with the hardships. And I guarantee you, there's always a positive end to those things. Okay, if you make the things that are unseemingly unworkable work, if you deal with it, I guarantee you there are rewards for that. Okay. First of all, let's say you did have a child at a very young age, 19, 20, 21, maybe even younger, 18, 17 years old, and you had a kid. Okay. Well, you have to now work your butt off to support that kid. Fulfill your parental obligations. Okay. I guarantee you the rewards will come later. One of the rewards is now that you had the kids young, you don't have to worry about having kids later. Okay. And you'll be much younger by the time that kid is grown. That kid could be, by the time he's 20 years old, you could be still in your late 30s. Okay. And guess what? You're a free man. At late 30s, early 40s, you're a free man. You can go do whatever you want. You don't have to change anybody's diapers. You don't have to feed anybody. You don't have to buy them clothes. You don't have to take them nowhere. You don't have to watch over them. You're a free man to do whatever you want. A grown free man, okay? And still young. Late 30s and early 40s, you're still young. You can still go out there and party and meet different women or different men, whatever, okay? But I guarantee you, sacrifice a little bit in your younger years, get the things that you need to get done, okay? This is the true survival tip of the day, okay? Because I see too many young people, and I watch their videos because they're entertaining. And if you're able to make videos and make a good living at it, please, by all means, do it. Okay. If you can do anything to make a good living, do it. Okay. But make sure that when you do those things and make good money, pay into Social Security, invest in your 401k, put away a savings, be responsible. Be responsible. Don't listen to these people, these young couples, these younger kids out there that are telling you, "Oh, go live your life your way, go live the free life. Don't be chained down to the status quo. Don't do this and that." Uh, because I'm telling you, okay, it may work for very few people, but for a lot more, it's not the way to go. You're going to turn 60, 70 years old living in a van with nothing to your name in your bank account, nothing to be able to really help you live a comfortable life until you die. Okay? But I guarantee you, if you sacrifice now, if you work hard now, you invest your money or save your money and put away a little bit something for the future and take care of your uh, responsibilities as a living being on this earth to reproduce and take care of your offsprings and make sure that you do the right things, you'll have plenty of time at the back end of your life to enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. Okay? So don't live life backwards. My brother's doing it, and he's regretting it to this day. He has to work until he's dead. He has to work a job until he dies, basically. You know, otherwise, uh, his kids are not going to get what they need. They're not going to get hands up or a leg lift in life. So think about those things. We to live as a free bird and this and that from the get go is very selfish. It is, and it kind of goes against what as an intelligent being, it kind of goes against your instincts. And if you think like that from the beginning, I don't know. Uh, I believe you may regret it. There are now. I'm not saying there aren't people out there who lived like that all their lives, born free, living like a hobo from going town to town, campsite to campsite, location to location, enjoying life. Even having kids on the road and homeschooling them, and they may have made it work all their lives, and they may have a great plan to live like that until the day they die. Okay, but I believe those are very few people. Okay, now if everybody resorted to living like them, then we would just revert back to tribal life. Okay, we would resort back to nomad living, which is kind of going backwards in civilization. Okay, so don't contribute to that. Don't contribute to that because we come too far as a civilization to live the way we are living now. And in order for mankind to advance to the point where we're going to take the rocket ship to other solar systems, we have to pull together as a society and work hard and, contribute. We can't be selfish and say, well, I'm just going to go ahead and buy a 1970s van or a camper and go live out there like a nomad and contribute nothing to man's technology, the man's community, man's civilization to advance forward. Okay? You can't do that. If everybody did that, we'd be all living like people in Cuba, driving 1950s cars because nobody wanted to go to college and take design lessons and engineering to design newer and better cars. Everybody's talking about the Green New Deal. Well, guess what? If everybody decided to go live in a camper and live the free life, who's going to finish college and go to work for a company that develops batteries and solar power and wind power and all that? Because that takes a lot of education, that takes a lot of engineering, that takes a lot of science. Okay, and people who say, "Oh, heck with all that. That's the status quo. I don't want none of that. I want to live free." Guess what? If everybody thought like that, we wouldn't have a civilization. We wouldn't have a society. We would just have a bunch of nomads. And we would all be no better than animals out there in the wilderness. A bear that wanders the forest, a deer that wanders the forest, a bird that flies around in the sky. Okay, even them, even the animals have a job. Okay, they hunt, they graze, they feed. They have to go looking for food. They have to provide food for their young ones. You know, so don't fool yourself thinking that you're gonna live life free, okay, and unrestricted. There's, you know, just trust me. Sacrifice today when you're young and healthy, and you'll be given a chance to live the life that you wanted to live in the future. Okay, and if you do it right and you do it sooner than later, you'll be still young enough to enjoy it. All right, so that's my advice to young people. And that is my thought to all you people out there that are giving advice to young people that or other people that they can just go out there and live in an RV or their vehicles. Okay, and I watch your videos. I am thoroughly entertained by those videos. I love those videos. I watch them to the day I die. Um, Even as a young person, even since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to live in a camper. I was always wanted to live in a van. I always wanted to live in a vehicle traveling from city to city, state to state. I even drew up plans on, even as a kid, how I was gonna sleep at rest stops and sleep on parking lots and get go to the YMCA to take showers and use public restrooms and things like that. I've thought of doing that when I was a kid, but you know, I'm glad I didn't do it. I'm glad I went and got a job and had a profession for 20 some years until I retired. Because now if I choose to go live in a van, all I have to do is save a little bit of money to buy a van and go out there and live in a van. And if I don't like it after about 4 or 5 years, I'll move back into a house or move back into an apartment. Okay, so you have plenty of time to do all those things when you're young. Focus on working. Focus on saving. Focus on building something for yourself to have a family one day, raise that family properly, and then after you've done all that, then go waste your life. And I'm not saying it's a waste of life to go out and enjoy yourself. I'm just saying, just being funny, you know, go live a leisure life. Okay. Because I get a lot of criticism from my family members. They'll tell me, you're too young to be sitting at home doing nothing. You need to be out there working. Well, I did my bit. I My first marriage, I had a son and I raised him, gave him everything he wanted, raised him properly, sent him to college. Okay, gave him and my ex-wife a beautiful house to live in. You know, and I worked my butt off, and I've done all my bit. I've done my bit for God and country and nature. Okay, now it's my turn to sit down and relax. If I want to do something, I'll do something. If I don't want to do anything, I don't want to do anything. Okay, don't hate on me. Don't be looking at me like I need to be going out there and work. Don't be looking at me like I'm some bum because I've done what I had to do. Okay, I've done what I had to do. What I'm doing now is extra. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm helping my girlfriend and her kids, and I'm doing what I can for them, and living and enjoying life. Okay, my girlfriend, she's still working full time because she's a little younger than me, but eventually she'll get to my stage. But she'll get to my stage a lot later because she started and moved around a little bit when she was young. Me, I went full blast. I worked somewhere at a very young age and stayed there. I didn't move around. I didn't quit. Even when the days I hated the job and I wanted to quit and do something else, I stuck with it. Because I was in it for the long run. Okay. And after 24 years, boom, I was done. I was retired. I was out the door. And then I started working here and there, and you know, after I got tired of doing that, now I'm just sitting at home doing nothing, making YouTube videos and giving advice. And I hope you guys watch this video and take my advice, okay? If you want to enjoy your life and live your life the way you really, really want to live it, first you got to pay the price, okay? You got to put in the work. You gotta do what you have to do, not what you want to do. It's great if you do what you want to do and still make money and still um great. I hope you do. I hope you do that. That is the lifelong dream of anybody, to do what they want to do in life and still make a living. That is the ultimate goal. But 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna fit in. You're not gonna be able to get that. A lot of us, majority of us, did not work somewhere that we wanted to work at. We did what we had to do because we had to feed a family, we had to sustain ourselves, and we had to make life happen. Okay, with what we had. So if you're lucky and fortunate enough to live life the way you want to live and still make a living, please, I'm not trying to stop you from doing that. I'm not. Please go seek that, find that, attempt that. But at some point in your life, before you get too old, before you reach that 30 and 30 something years old, you need to buckle down and say, hey, time is slipping away. I need to hurry up and establish something for myself and get this done so I could raise a family, get it over and done with, and move on with my life when I'm in my late 40s and 50s, so I could enjoy my life. Okay? And this is something I believe people are not telling younger people today. We got too many videos out there just telling people, hey, if you want to live in a van, if you want to live out there free willy, go do it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. You know, don't second guess yourself. Go do it. And then there's a lot of young people who listen to that and say, yeah, I want to live the adventure. No, please. Think about it. Listen to your parents. If your parents are telling you, hey, you need to finish school. If your parents are telling you, hey, that's a good job, you need to go and apply for that job and stick with it. You know, take their advice or consider their advice, especially if you don't know what you want to do. If you know exactly what you want to do and you know how to do it, go do it. If you know that you want to become something, go and try to become that thing. Okay. um, and establish a career. Okay, but if all you want to do is go live free like a hobo, now it's not. You being as being young and healthy. Now it's not the time to do it. And you'll say to yourself, "Well, I don't want to do all that when I'm too old to do it. I don't want to do that." Trust me, trust me. If you take care of your body, and if you take care of your mind, and you work hard, regardless how old you are, you will always be young enough to do anything you want to do. Okay. Now, if you live like a slob and eat bad and not work out or not take care of your body, it doesn't matter if you're young or old. Okay. You're probably not in the right mind to do half the things that you think you want to do in your life if you're that type of person anyway. So get yourself in the right frame of mind. Do the things that you have to do to take care of yourself, your family, raise your family, and then go out there. After you've done all that, go out there and live free willy. Okay? Anyway, want to thank everybody for listening to me. This video is basically about life and survival in life. I think this video is essential because it's not too many people out there telling other people this. They're just showing the glorifying parts of living out there. There are some that do go in depth in describing, you know, um, you know, so that lifestyle, and they have very good advice. Some of them, And it's always good to watch them and ask questions of them and learn from them. But don't think that you should be doing this in your younger life. I plead with you to consider these things before you decide to go out there and be adventurous. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all. I didn't mean to talk your ears off. See ya.